Hey clarinet players, it's Mr. E. I'm going to teach you how to fully assemble your mouthpiece, barrel, ligature, and reed. So right here I have my fully assembled mouthpiece and barrel. I put this little label here to show you where the facing is. This is the facing. This whole area is where the reed is going to go. Sometimes people do some things like this, like they try and put the reed in there and they say, why doesn't that work? Well, because you're doing it wrong. Also, I put a label where it says table. Here's the little printing part that I showed you all. Most reeds should have a print like this. Well, this side is the table. The table and the facing are going to be facing each other like this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to line the reed up at the top from left to right and also at the bottom from left to right. So what I mean by line it up, I mean this. So right here, you can see it's a little crookedy. So you want to make sure you line it up there. Now at the top, you'll notice you'll see a little bit of mouthpiece. If you do something like this, well, that doesn't make sense. Your instrument's not going to sound right. So you want to show a little bit of mouthpiece at the top, like that. The opposite can happen also, like this. That's wrong. Okay, so our reed placement on the facing of the mouthpiece is important, the top and at the bottom. So I'm going to use my right thumb to hold that in place. Got a little crookedy, I'm going to fix it. So I'm going to use my thumb to hold it in place, okay? Now we need to figure out how to put the ligature on without breaking the reed. My ligature looks like this, okay? You'll notice there's a little slant right here. That part, that slant part, the wider part's going to go onto the mouthpiece ligature like that. Okay, now very carefully, we want to make sure we don't jam the reed. Okay. Now as far as how far down it goes, you'll notice that the reed has a little etching right here, and it's kind of aligned with this etching on the mouthpiece. So I want to make sure the ligature is aligned with that line. Now our reed might move around a little bit, so you can always just fix it back, adjust the ligature, and so on and so forth. Notice that the screw is on the right side. I'm staring at the reed and the screw's on the right side. Your ligature might fit fine like this, but that's incorrect. Notice how the screw is on the left side. If we're staring at the reed, we always want the screw on the right side. Okay? So that's how it would look. Then when it's time to tighten the screw, you go until it stops, and then a little bit more, and then that's it. So now I'm going to show you how to do this with a silver ligature. I'm going to take this off carefully. Where we have our table on the reed right here. Then we have the facing. That's going to face each other like this. Okay, then I'm going to use my fingers to align the reed at the top and at the bottom. I use my right thumb to hold it in place. Now we have these kind of ligatures also, the silver kind. There's also a little slant this way, the bigger end and the smaller end. The bigger end's going to go on first. Now notice how the screw is the screws are on the side where the reed is, but they're still on the right side. So that's a good rule of thumb. I get it. You want the screws on the right side when you're looking at the reed. So this is the opposite wrong way. Where the screws, they're on the left side. That's wrong. So if you're staring at the reed, you want to make sure that the screws are always on the right side. Okay? Again, your reed's probably going to be moving around a lot. Look at the bottom. Look at how crookedy that is. You want to make sure you fix it here. Pinch it with your thumb, and then align the top also. Look at how low the ligature is. It's aligned with the reed. I see a little bit of mouthpiece. I'm going to lower the reed a little bit. I see a little bit of mouthpiece at the top. Now it's going to be okay to carefully turn the screws. And notice how the reed's moving a little bit. It's because the screws were unscrewed a little bit too much. So I'm going to keep aligning it. Fix the ligature as I need to. And I'm going to tighten a little bit. Tighten a little bit. I'm going to try and tighten both screws a little bit evenly. So if I do a few turns on one, I'm going to do a few turns on the other. and then now you're good to go. Okay.